都希望自己能够一直赢比赛，肯定不会希望自己输比赛。
At the end of the day, everybody wants to win.
Did you consider retiring after the Parker fight?
在打完帕克的比赛之后，输掉了之后，有没有想过退役呢？
没有，那个之前还没有，因为在帕克的比赛，我感觉我没有输，所以说对我的心理没有任何造成没有任何负担啊。
Not then. After the Parker fight, I never thought I lost that fight.
因为我知道打帕克的时候，我的心里是怎么想的。
I know what went wrong. My mentality.
What do you mean by that? What could you expand? Why did? So you don't think at this moment that like even looking back you lost that fight? You think you should have gotten the nod?
那具体展开来说一下，为什么输了这场比赛？然后呢，你觉得为什么没有输？
因为首先在这场比赛之前，在赛前就确定这一场比赛的时候，然后我 OK 没问题，然后就打帕克绝对没问题，因为他被我以前赢过他，然后他又把乔伊斯把他 KO，然后我又把乔伊斯 KO， 所以说我的感觉打帕克没有问题，然后所以说可能说心理上面有一些松懈。
When I first got the notice to fight Joseph Parker, I thought it was easy. I beat him in the amateurs. Joe Joyce knocked him out. I knocked Joe Joyce out. So in my mind, I thought that's like an easy walk in the park.
所以说在第3回合的时候，我把帕克第一次击倒的时候，然后我自己还在中立角，然后站自己还在那跳舞，所以说没有把帕克放在眼里。然后所以说到最后进入比赛的深入，然后一直到比赛进入后半程，可能说帕克改变战术之后，我可能要打不到这儿，让我心里着急，一着急的话，越着急越打不到，所以说最后可能说输掉比赛。
When I dropped in the 3rd round, I thought that was it, and as you can see, I went back to my neutral corner and started dancing, and I thought that was easy fight. And then when the fight went on to the later rounds, Parker adjusted very beautifully, and he made perfect adjustments, and then I was not able to land a shot, so I lost my rhythm.
所以说从那场比赛结束之后 ，OK， 我们要又重新去总结自己 ，OK， 我们不管在任何对手，我们要专注，要更加的专注。
I learned my lesson from that fight. No matter who you're fighting, you have to stay focused.
And those were the words of Zhilei Zhang, the interpreted words of Zhilei Zhang, as he explains why he didn't feel that he should retire and why he felt he beat Joseph Parker. That's why he didn't consider retirement. And let me counterpunch. I appreciate the honesty with Zhilei Zhang, first off, but it's rather contradicting. And let me explain. The honesty part first. I appreciate how he thought that Joseph Parker was a walk in the park. A lot of people like to think that, hey, I did my best, all right, or, stand on a hill with that ideology that, I won and I just think I beat him and I won. Okay. Well, he beat him in the amateurs. Joe Joyce knocked him out. He knocked out Joe Joyce. Therefore, I should do the same more easily, right? And it just shows you how the styles are and how time changes with people. Readjustments, style matchups, triangle theories, okay, don't work at all. And this is another example of why you should never do that. Ever do that. Okay, Joshua beat Parker. Then Parker beat Ruiz. Didn't mean Joshua was going to beat Ruiz because we've seen what happened, didn't we? Right? Despite the whatever. Pragmatically, Ruiz stopped Joshua. So, I can appreciate that, and I don't think with a performance like that, he should retire anyway or have a mindset to retire. Now, the contradicting part of this, well, if you thought that Joseph Parker adjusted easily and you already admitted that you took him easy and you slacked off, why wouldn't you think what the referees scored was the right decision in their eyes, because you just admitted that you saw and witnessed and experienced Parker adjusting to you, okay, and was able to foil whatever you had coming, or you had to give rather, right? So I don't understand that as much, but nonetheless, though, I think maybe it was a loss in translation, but I think the interpreter's pretty intelligent. So, I think that he should never overlook an opponent. He said his mentality was off on why he lost, but he thought he did win. You know what I mean? Like, no. I think the same thing happened to Zhilei Zhang in the Parker fight as what happened in the Filip Hrgovic fight. It's just in the Parker fight, things were more dramatic because Parker went down 2 times. Okay? It brings me back, history lane. I gotta, represent old pastime fighting. I remember a fighter named James Page versus, I think he was the IBF welterweight champion at the time, versus Jose Luis Lopez. Okay, these were welterweights, and Jose Luis Lopez was very tough. He was from Durango, Mexico, and the cat could hit like, his right hand was like a hand cannon. But he had some type of problem where he would not throw. He would just sit there and take shots, and James Page just boxed him beautifully. And he dropped James Page in the 4th, and he dropped him again in the 11th. And when he dropped him by the 11th, you had a straight streak between rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He had just, and of course, 1, 2, and 3. Then 4, he got dropped. Then 11, Lopez tried to come on, and Page was just tough enough, had enough in the gas tank, was durable enough to take the onslaught. But it was too far few in between 4 and 11. So Zhang, though, is pretty much, he didn't even have that gas tank anyway. He wouldn't have done that in the 11th round like Jose Luis Lopez was able to do, even though they called it a draw, just like Tyson Fury or Wilder versus Fury won, but then they changed it to, I think, a split decision win for James Page. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty accurate when it comes to memory. Let me look it up for you guys real quick. But anyway, I think Zhang, his problem is and will always be stamina. Okay, regardless of what he did, like, he was able to do that. He was able to drop Parker twice, but he acknowledged himself that Parker did quite well from adjusting to what happened. Okay, and then the fight and the things that he, the punches that he was able to avoid, that right hook, that straight left was a mother for Parker. Okay. Yeah. And I think if anything at all, Zhilei Zhang needs a strength and conditioning coach moving forward. I just think he needs that. I think he needs that type of change. Not his main trainer. His main trainer is great. I like the way his coach has brought him along. Okay, so I'm not talking about his main trainer, but I'm talking about strength and conditioning, because Zhilei Zhang needs definitely a boost of stamina. But maybe, just maybe, he was able to what's the word? He got arrogant. Okay, like he said, I've dropped him in the 3rd, and then when he dropped him again, he was like, "Oh, okay, I'll catch him again," and it didn't happen. So maybe that was his mentality, but I'm glad he changed. I hope we can see it within his next up-and-coming performances. You guys tell me what you think about Zhilei Zhang stating that he thinks that he beat Joseph Parker. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch.